So that kind of was the second step. But third step, when I went to the university, to the English department, I decided I was going to specialize in African civilization. And that was the moment.
Right, the trigger. Right.
It was the trigger.
Right.
Because we had to go to villages, you know, and try to get some information from all elder people, mostly very, very old people. The strategy I was using, you had to be like between 70 and 80 years old, you know, for me to talk to you. And then I would just let them pick what they wanted to tell me. You know, sometimes they would tell me a story. Sometimes they would tell me something related to history. But any which way, I would record it. And once I finished recording it, I had to transcribe it. And once I transcribe it, I had to decipher it, you know, and analyze it. And that gave me the virus.
Right.
That gave me the virus because I started feeling some subtleties between words I thought were just synonymous when they were different, absolutely different words, you know. And that is the beauty of the language.
The language, right. That's how much you got flabbergasted, for instance, from the beauty of this language, from this wolof poets, like you said, Serigne Moussa Ka, and many others who wrote in wolof. But don't you see also there was an influence from Arab countries, like Arabic? Because I remember I asked you a question. I was educated. I mean, you really put something in my mind. I was like, wolof doesn't have names for days, like Monday, we call them Al-Isnain, then we said Altine, Al-Thalatha, we said Talata, Al-Arba, we said Al. And when I asked you that question, you said something that I will never forget. Because in your mind, you said, because in your mind, you think Arabic precedes wolof.
Yep.
Because it was like you were set to think that your language has to come from other language. Why not the other way around? So I was very happy with that answer, and that, you know, goes tells me to you know, pushes me to ask you this question: is it also, do you see our poets also very influenced by Arabic in their language, in their way of doing poetry, and this affect the purity or the sanctity of wolof?
No, it does not. In fact, they were just reappropriating what was actually theirs. And they understood that. They were far more intelligent, far more in the know of what was happening than we think they were. Okay, they would sometimes use some Arabic words in their poetry, but just to set the context. But the way they wrote, they could have written in different ways. And then Serigne Moussa Ka did that a lot. He did that when he says, Mbarum Cheikh Baba Mane Suko Dag. You see that rhythm? It's African rhythm. It's African rhythm.
Okay.
And he said, Yagana, Yagana, Yagana. He used that beat to write something. And traditionally, we had ways of writing things like that. Okay? Let's say you would sometimes in naming ceremony or let's say weddings, you will see some female or man just, you know, singing. The techniques they use are the very techniques we use in poetry. And they would rhyme it. When you're happy with somebody, you say, they would say something like, Ya xewle ma ñew ku mel ni man dik. Ya sallo joxe te do dikkale mukk. See? You got the rhythm in there. And you got the rhymes as well. And that's very cultural. It has nothing to do with the Arabs, right? But since we were educated in those languages, we tend to think that they gave us everything we had. But people who were coming up with those techniques had nothing to do with Arabs or French or being English.
What I meant actually was there's some words who stayed so long in wolof that we might think they're part of the language itself. And then we have the Arab side, we have the French side, and we have even the other local languages here. Even when you hear an African speaking wolof in Dakar, sometimes I hear, so funny, there's some programs, the guy says, please speak in wolof, don't say it in French. And 40 or 50% of what the conversation is actually in French.
I know, right?
So what is wolof right now, actually? That's what the purity of the language is that we should hold on to.
Yeah, the problem is people don't differentiate
Right.
between standard wolof, street wolof, and what made up wolof.
Okay.
There are at least 3 versions, and that happens to every language. Like the slang you would hear in the Bronx is different from what you hear in academic settings.
Exactly.
Right? But they were so well organized, they can differentiate it. But we tend to forget that, okay? Especially when it comes to the articles. Because wolof has at least 10 articles to go with every single word.
Okay.
So if you miss the article, you will miss the meaning. Okay? But we were trying to copy the French style, where they have le, la, les, un, une, des, and that's it. When we had 10 articles
Right. That come after the word.
that come after the words, and sometimes before the
Before
word.
the words. Right.
Yeah, they all come after the words and before the words.
Okay.
So if they come before the word, it's a set definite article. Let's say you use the word kër.
Kër.
You say genn kër. But
Okay.
in Dakar, they tend to say benn kër. When you can't say benn kër,
Benn kër.
it means nothing to
Right.
every other.
Right.
You
It
say-
means some houses around.
It means nothing.
Right. That's not
Benn-
wolof.
It's not wolof.
Okay.
You say genn kër.
Genn kër.
Genn kër gi. You can't say benn kër. You will see somebody say something like amuluma benn njariñ. You can't say that in wolof because the article that goes with njariñ is le. You say njariñ li. What you're supposed to do is amuluma lenn njariñ.
Amul ma lenn njariñ.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
And you have that in English. You have that in French as well. Well, you respect that. There is nothing more complicated than saying le complément d'objet direct placé avant le verbe s'accord en genre et en nombre. You
Right.
learn that it's very complicated.
Right.
Donne-moi la mangue que tu m'avais promise. And donne-moi le ballon que tu m'avais promis. You learn that. But you put it in practice and it becomes part of you.
Exactly.
It's not very complicated. You have to learn it.
Right.
But we refuse to be as strict and as demanding when it comes to our own language. That's when
Is it our fault though, since there's no, program for us? We've not. I was like the other day, like I told you, I was revolted when one of my kids told me I'm at school right now, and and I'm learning Spanish, for instance, and I'm like, you start with French, now you German, something like that, now English and others, but never you have any opportunity to be, for your language to be taught.
But we can't expect everything to come from other people.
Right.
Everybody got to make it a personal challenge.
Exactly.
I think that's it. It's a matter of personal identity.
Right.
It's a matter of culture. It's a matter of pride.
That's right. Exactly.
It's a matter of pride.
Right.
Because we may take it for granted in Dakar and Thiès and places like that. But if you go in the villages, they will tell you, hey, what you said is not wolof. And they will correct you.
Exactly.
They will correct you. But the thing is, you will learn something, but you refuse to practice it because you feel like if you say it, somebody else will judge you some kind of way.
Exactly.
Why should you care?
Right.
If you know you're right, why do you care other people's opinion which are wrong? You cannot trade your right with something wrong.
Right.
Doesn't make any intellectual sense. It does not make any human sense. Okay? Now, if you learn something new in your language, put it in practice.
Exactly.
And make sure people around you do it. Like with my kids, I do it all the time. When you say something wrong in Wolof, I tend to correct you right away. And there was a time you'd come to my house and say something wrong. My kids back then, they were a little more, little.
Right.
They would tell you straight up.
Right, exactly.
This is not English.
And I see mentality is changing because just way back, like 20 years ago, villages was considered like or some kind of negative things when, that's how it was in Dakar. Speaking in a certain tongue and a way were considered cow, like they used to say. And I see there's a tendency of not really reshaping that. And people are really going about to learn Wolof. You're doing hats off to what you're doing actually for helping this language to be known. Professor Suleiman Nyang. Oh, the Nyang thing. I don't know about that though. Professor Suleiman, Director of Resources over there in the University of Bombay, Aliun Diop University, really getting a treat today about Wolof, a beautiful language. You can follow us on Facebook again, YouTube. If you're Senegal visiting over, want to be part of this show, you can contact me on my Facebook page. There's my number there. We can plan a program, anything that goes social, economy, religious, anything to make sure it helps the for any human development. We welcome here in this particular program of Echo from TOUBA. Professor Saleh, we're going to talk about now the choice of alphabets, because any language goes with alphabets. Before we go back to the hieroglyphs, in Senegal we've been colonized by the French. We have Arabic, we have different type of alphabets here. What is the choice of, is it we're going to use the one we inherited from our ancestors called the hieroglyphs, which could be more appropriate to my understanding, or is it the same thing to use the Wolof, the Arabic alphabet, or the French? What's your choice on that?
Any type of alphabet we use is ours. Any type.
Subhanallah.
Whether it is Arabic or what they call the Roman characters. All of them are alphabets from our ancestors. It's an evolution of the hieroglyphs. I will give you an example. You see the letter A? A.
Right.
Everywhere you go around the world, it's the same letter. A. Whether you're using Roman characters or Arabic characters. Because the European, the Westerners, they inherited it from the Greeks, who called that letter alpha. And the alpha, with this letter coming after that, give alpha, beta. It's alpha and beta put together. You have alpha, beta, to call the whole, the other words, the other characters.
Right.
Okay, talk about them. That alpha comes from a hieroglyph that talks about the opening. And when you write it, it is written on a cow's head. And that head has to have horns.
Horns, right.
That appearance is called alpha. In the hieroglyph, they call it aleph. And that aleph means the opening, the beginning. That's what the Greeks got and called it alpha. But you will find the same name alpha in our culture, which will become a noun, a name for people. You know people call alpha, right?
Right, a lot
That's
of
the
them.
same thing.
Especially from Guinea.
Exactly. It's like alpha. It's the beginning. And that alpha migrated into the Greek, the Arab language, and became the aleph, which is the same calling as aleph, the way we called it back in the days.
Right.
Aleph, right? So that aleph migrated and through time evolved into the character we know. But to tell you that we kept it in our consciousness, in our minds, as Africans, when you come to Wolof, even when they were learning Arabic, they kept the same name to remind us of the origin of that letter. Have you not heard of Alif Lif Bob Bure?
Exactly. That's the Alif with the Hamza.
Yeah, Lif Bob Bure. It's the exact, because it reminds them of the origin of that letter.
Yeah,
Lif
right.
Bob Bure. And Lif is always related to head in Wolof.
Exactly.
If you go in the Lebu community, they know that very well. When the head, the fish head, the head of the fish, is called leaf. And when you pull that bone, it's just like an aleph.
Exactly. Even the human aleph behind the head.
It's called leaf. Leaf ujun. So we know the origin, and every single letter, every other letter is on the same pattern. It's just an evolution of our hieroglyphs.
So you grasping to what belongs to you.
Exactly. So we have a lot to pick from.
Right.
You can pick from the Arabic, you can pick from the Roman characters, but I personally feel like the way it was coded, the Roman characters are more keen, more suitable to what we want to write.
Okay.
Because if you use the Arabic characters, it would be hard for you to differentiate j, ch, nj, ny. They all are written with the gene. You know?
Okay.
But if you go with the Roman characters, you can differentiate them. And that makes a big difference. Because if you want to write something like such, in the Roman character, you will at the end have a J sound, a J letter.
Right.
Why J? Because if you put an E, if you add an E to it, it says soje, ninga soje.
Soje.
You don't say ninga soche. So that tells you that's the right sound.
Okay.
And that happens to all languages. Like even if you take French,
Right.
when they write gouvernement, you will see a T right there, but you don't pronounce it.
Right.
Why? Because it's the origin. That's why when they need an adjective, what do? They add an L to it. You say gouvernemental.
Tal.
That makes sense.
Otherwise the T is silent.
Exactly. That's what happens to our languages.
But having also all these, because obviously those letters are embedded to this particular hieroglyph language, and but I'm sure you're going to have a lot of things in order to explain and make sure other people or other civilizations understand that it is actually from the hieroglyphs of Africa. But from this standpoint, do you have an academy to validate what you guys chosen, like this thing, what do you call them again, your alphabets you're using, and the wolof space? Is it like where we can go right now, like to investigate, to learn, to study this particular? There's an academy in Senegal that's teaches wolof.
There is an academy, but it's not functional.
It's not.
To my likings, it's not functional.
Okay.
But the language, the way we write, has been coded for a long time, ever since the 70s, right? It has evolved.
Was it by Cheikh Anta Diop or different people?
No, different people. Different people under the initiative of President Senghor first, and then through Abdou Diouf and Abdoulaye Wade. It has been changed and coded, decoded for a long time. Because every time they come up with something new, and they figure this belongs to the language, they change it around.
Okay.
Like in the beginning, to teach you some of the letters that would not be doubled,
Right.
they would teach you Fusarach. They say those letters F, S, R, and H would not be double.
Okay.
But they came to the realization that it was a wrong appreciation of the language, and they changed it. They went from Fusarach to Fusach, and then they went from Fus, and then they ended up coming to the first sound only.
Right.
Because that's the only sound you don't double. It doesn't have the gemination in the language.
Okay.
Like when you say the g, the g sound, you have it in h, da, k. You have it in h with h. You have it with s, which they said it didn't. But when you say this solely, it is obvious that it's double sound.
It's double sound. Okay.
And then, but you don't have it in f. So that's the exception. And now they know it. But back in the days when they first started teaching it, that's something they would teach.
They didn't have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that keeps evolving. And anytime people come with something new, it needs to be taken into account to just better the language and the way we write it.
Seems like Senghor has done a lot for this language.
Well, he did a lot.
And many African languages, of course.
Exactly. He did a lot, but he also kind of hindered the progress of the language.
Is it by putting French up?
One thing, and then even in the writing, he had some issues with Cheikh Anta Diop and Pate Diagne.
Right.
Because when they wrote something like Sigi, they would write it with 2 G's. And Senghor said, no, there's no way you're going to write it with 2 G's. Because in his serial ear, he would hear and say Sigi. because Serer doesn't have that.
Exactly.
That's why they say, when they say lek, a Wolof person will say lekna, they will say lekna.
Lekna.
See, they don't
double it.
They don't double it. They don't have that in their language. Okay, and that's what happened to Senghor. But he was wrong.
I remember that time there was a movie that was about to be presented, but he refused it.
Exactly.
Because of the name, the title.
Because of that. And he was absolutely wrong. He was wrong all the way.
Right.
But
at least there was some debate out there in concerning Wolof, and that shows that there was some kind of highly regarded by Senghor.
Yes, but you see, one thing we must learn from there is that when people come up with something new regarding the language, we need to look at it scientifically and not appreciate the person who's talking. We need to be able to go beyond people, beyond the people working on something.
Right.
It's not about Suleiman. It's not about, Fallou. It's not about Fallou Sisi. It's not about Abdul Kebe. It's about the science. That's what really matters to me.
That's the knowledge.
The knowledge.
Right, exactly.
If somebody comes up with something scientific, let's look at it scientifically and integrate.
Put emotions away.
Put emotions away. Because that's exactly the reason why we came up with a grammar book. Because there were so many things that were ignored and which belong to the language. Like the oo sound. A lot of people think there is one oo sound in Wolof. Oo.
Ooh.
The heavy type, the tense type of oo you have.
Like ooh.
Ooh.
Right.
Like when you say in English, look, the oo sound.
Right.
You have it in Wolof. But you also have a less tense oo, which you have in look. Look. The oo. We have
softer.
both. It's softer. We have both in Wolof, but people didn't take it into account. So that's something we brought along.
Exactly.
When you have the I sound and the E sound, it's different. Like when you say treat or sleep, the E sound is heavier, more tense, versus slip. It fits you. Right? You don't have this, it's not the same sound.
Exactly.
We have those sounds in Wolof. When you say fear and fear, you're not saying the same thing. You can hear it,
Right,
it's not the same.
It's totally different.
So why not write it differently? And that's what some of the propositions we came up with. You know,
Mashallah.
because those belong to the language. We need to integrate them because it will make a big difference. Let's say, I can understand people talking about exceptions to a rule, but when you have 10, 20, 100, it's no longer an exception.
Anymore. It's a rule now.
It's a rule now. Okay, and that's why people will always get misled if you keep doing it. That's why you use certain words in Dakar,
Right.
which are not appropriately used.
Right.
You would, when a car hits somebody, in Dakar they say fear nuko. There is no way you should say that. No way.
You shouldn't say fear nako.
Fear. That word.
Fear is like something you like.
You try to
trying
catch.
to catch, right?
Yeah, if you try to catch a bird,
Exactly.
for example,
Okay.
you fear it, right?
Right.
If you are jealous, a jealous person is fear.
It's fear.
Fear.
Right.
But when a car hits somebody, it's not fear. It's not
Not
fear.
fear.
It's fear.
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 Fear. Okay, that's the first time I hear about that word.
Yeah. Oh, they've got fear.
Okay.
It's a shock, and that word fear is so deep. When you start talking about anatomy, you know, people, the
Right.
way from birth to death.
Okay.
You know, when a baby is born, it's not directly called a baby lir in Wolof. It's called chandent.
It's called
Chandent,
Tendent.
which means something that came out of the fetus.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's called chandent. But once they suck their mama's titties,
Right.
you know, once they they're suckled, then they are called lir.
Lear.
Yeah. But if the baby comes dead, not alive, with no, they are called morne. Let's say in French.
Right.
Morne. It means nothing.
Right.
Morne.
It's like just they relating what's
Yeah,
happening.
they're just relating. But it has a specific word in one.
Which is
Perbi.
perbi.
Per.
Per.
Perwe. Yep. It comes from Fer.
Okay.
That means there was a
There
shark,
was a shark in there.
And usually that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's very
Wow,
scientific.
beautiful.
So some of the things, if we lose sight of those small things, we will lose a lot of the civilizational thinking behind every single word we use. There is a very scientific rationale.
Exactly. But other languages or local languages also seems like we're having the same problem. Is it, again, because I'm not really satisfied with who's supervising the language right now? Because it's like, I feel like it's just something on the street. You speak it the way you want or the way you feel it. It's like you just explain how we should say fear, and fur. It's like who's supervising this language right now?
Well, there's supposed to be an academy which is not functional.
Is it the government aware?
The government is not doing what I think they should be doing. I feel like they're only teaching people how to write. But there is more to a language than just knowing how to spell things. We're not into a spelling bee competition.
Exactly.
It's not a spelling bee competition.
No way.
It's about learning the language.
Exactly.
Because once you learn the language, what happens is you start sensing the scientific and cultural and civilizational aspect of your language. And that gives you a sense of pride. Then you can compete. But if you feel like you're just using this language just to be understood, just to get by, well, there is no sense of pride. You feel it. You know what I mean? And I feel like the Murid community has done a lot for this language. I should admit, because back when we were younger, you had to be into French, speak French, or even try to speak English to be called in, so to speak. You know what I mean? But nowadays, the more you sound like a Biafra, the more you are considered in.
Exactly.
So there is a revolution that's going on.
Exactly. And
it's a mental revolution.
On that revolution, I will really pay tribute to someone like Sering Atujan with Hizb ut-Tarqiyyah.
Yes.
How in the universities, it wasn't, c'était pas évident, like you said, but they came in with respecting their cultures, wearing this Baila hat, listening to Baila hat speeches, and really showing out their wolof. And I think that plays a big role to what wolof is today, actually. And my next question will be this. Now wolof, like you said, you depicted how much we started it and where we are right now. But I just want to recall again about the hieroglyphs in Egypt, and what happened. It's not something you can probably answer for 5 minutes, but what happened to Wolof people? Were the Wolof people there in Egypt, living in Egypt, actual Misr, actually, with all the Syrians and Wolof? Was it like the first really true civilizations that ever stood up on this planet?
Yes, sir. It was the very first civilization.
Okay.
And it was the ultimate aspect of the civilization that we lived in Egypt. Because it started prior to us going to Egypt in the valley, back when it was in Sudan.
Sudan.
That's where it all started.
So Sudan precedes Egypt?
Oh yes, that's where it all started.
Okay.
So we migrated mostly from there to the valley. And that's where we it was the paramount of the African civilization. At least 6,000 years. With all types of governance and system and science and everything we needed to live among ourselves.
Okay.
So back then, these tribes or ethnic groups were living there the way we are living here right now. And you will sense every single ethnic group can relate to that. Because if you go to their vocabulary, you will see they use vocabularies that were used back then. When it comes to Wolof, which I know best, I personally know 200 Wolof words that are said exactly the same way as they were in ancient Egyptian.
Subhanallah.
And those are not very complicated words, very simple words, day-to-day, everyday words. Like putting your baby on your knee, you call it oof, right?
Right.
It's the exact same word.
They still say oof over there.
They say oof.
In the hieroglyphs.
Yep. That's basic word. Like khif, they will say nop. Love somebody, nop. Mare, be attracted to somebody. They will say, even the millets, sooner, sonya, they have that.
They have the same
They
thing.
have basi.
Subhanallah.
The same exact words, meaning the same exact things.
Wow.
That's one thing. And when it comes to the way we conjugate verbs, we have the same exact patterns. We lost some of it, but they still have it in there. Like the S, the neutral in conjugation, when you say I do, you do, he does, it is done. You know, you're not talking about anything.
Right.
In wolof, you say defes nako, and they had it in there. Defef nako, they had it in there.
Wow.
They have it. So things might have just, you know, evolved, but the vocabulary and the conjugation has stayed the same.
Okay.
And when you look at the glyphs, it's amazing the sound, because what people need to understand, there is at least 3 ways of looking at it. First thing is the vowel, like the consonant. Every glyph means something. It gives you a sound. It would leave you.
The glyphs are basically characters, just
Characters,
like letters and.
Exactly.
Is it more than like 24 letters of alphabets, or is
There's a lot, way more than that.
tons of it?
Tons of
It's
it.
like the Chinese script.
Yes.
Okay.
Like when you see a face drawn, that means face. But the consonant, the vowel,
Okay.
what it means, the character, the sound it gives you is H and R. H, R. Now you will like, okay, why do they call this H, R? Why does it give you that sound?
Right.
Because it refers to your face in your language. In wolof, you say harkanam.
Harkanam. Oh, they abbreviated it.
Yep. Because they didn't write the vowel sound, but they had the consonant. The root consonant is what they worked on.
Beautiful.
Okay, and then when the face is facing on the opposite side, when you see just the side, that means it is following something. They will give you the definition.
Okay.
Follow. And the root consonant is T and P. What do you call
What you mean? Bob, one is harkanam. What is the other one?
the side? When I look sideways,
Right.
that means I'm looking this way,
Right.
in the other direction. That is different from when I look you in the face.
Yeah, right, frontal.
One frontal is harkanam, but when I look sideways, they say it means to follow.
To follow.
What do you?
Stop.
Exactly. That's why you have the TP in there.
I see. Wow,
That's
that's beautiful.
that's what happens. You have top of things like that.
Wow.
I mean, it's very simple. You will have something like a pin written, and they will say that will give you the sound, the S sound, the S sound, because of its cloth. What do you call cloth?
Yere?
No, it's the cloth itself.
The cloth itself?
Yeah.
Sor?
Sor or sir.
Okay.
Then, hence the sound S.
Sir on it. Wow.
And all the glyphs are like that.
Exactly.
So
So there's another study in studying hieroglyphs.
exactly, because every single symbol, every single symbol is scientific, and there is a lot of rationale. It's a philosophy.
Right.
You have to work beyond that to understand where they were coming from.
Exactly. And also, well, we just have 5 minutes to go, and if you just join us again, thank you for following Echo from TOUBA. We're here in LAMP FALLTV Television, our studios, and every Sunday, actually at 5:30, we have this program going on. And if you want to, there's also a rerun the other Sunday. So again, if you want to be part of it, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page. I've seen Sudanese south of Egypt. I'm like, when I see those faces, I'm looking at the Senegalese people, and I see the name Job. They even have a Lajor people. They have all this culture from Senegal, easily traced back to that to Sudan. And we look alike so much. That means there was a presence of wolof there, like you said, of Egypt in that area. But is it just like the way it is valid for a wolof? Is it the same thing going on with Alpular, Serer?
I believe it is the same for all of those tribes,
Okay.
all of those ethnic groups. But since I don't know much about them, I can only testify to the relationship with Wolof and those Sudanese people. They have the same exact last names, and they have the same culture. They do the same thing. They do wrestling the same way we do wrestling. And then in their narratives, they will tell you that their forefather went from Sudan to Senegal. They know that. And that forefather is called Ajang.
Ajeng.
Ajang.
Right.
Ajang, Wolf Ajang. He is said to have bred, birthed all the other Wolof people. But that's one thing.
Okay.
But even in their language, sometimes they have we have the same words,
Okay.
meaning the same things.
Is it also in Senegal we have same names we sharing with, trace back to Egypt, we sharing with all these languages?
Oh yes, definitely.
Right.
But the reason we don't sense it is because we are still stuck in the way we were taught things.
Okay.
Because basically, Europeans are still stuck in the spelling, at the spelling level.
At the spelling level.
For real, like when I write N-O-S-E, naturally you say nose. Because you can speak the language. You're not stuck at spelling it. But they are stuck at spelling. You will write, just an example, you write N-O-S-E.
Right.
They know it means, what's on your face. They will know it.
Right.
But they will not pronounce it nose. They are still stuck to saying N-O-S-E. Because they don't have the language to understand. That's why when they say something like Mekarinos was a great pharaoh.
Right.
Mekarinos.
Right.
They will tell you Mekarinos. Some will say Menkaure. That's the way they pronounce it. Which is the very... there's nothing so wrong.
Exactly.
That name, that pharaoh is Kamara.
That's Kamara.
Kamara, that's Kamara.
Okay.
We had Pharaoh Sankara, we had Pharaoh Kamara, we had Samba in there, we had all those people. But the way we are taught things make it look like it's so far from us when it is ours.
Exactly.
We need to reappropriate that so we can understand what really happened in history.
But from all that, is there hope for future? What should be done? What is it? Is like a hope for the Wolof in the future here in Senegal?
I'm a living proof that there should be hope.
There should be hope, right?
I'm a living proof.
Right.
Because like I told you at the beginning, I was born and raised in the Sika. And if I am asked to talk about Wolof, that means people have awakened from a deep sleep that was due to colonization.
Exactly.
And us living with our colonizers for so long a time. But people are reclaiming what's theirs, and you can sense it. Even though we are not at the level where people speak it the proper way, but you will always see that people are making efforts towards that.
Exactly.
And like I said, the Murid community has done a lot for that.
Exactly.
And people living in the villages, they have done so much to keep this language.
MashaAllah.
And I tell you, bro, every time I go in those places, I feel revigorated. I feel like I'm on the right path.
Right, mashallah.
I feel like I have not wasted my time, and I feel like I'm doing something basically sacred. Because we didn't choose to be Wolof. We didn't choose to be born in Senegal.
That's a gift of Allah.
It's a gift of Allah. So me doing it that way, working so hard on it, is my way of showing my appreciation for what the Creator has done.
And as for your last name, because the program is over, for a message for those who are watching, maybe listening for the first time, hearing Wolof, seeing how, wow, I didn't know that language was so important. What's your message to that community watching for us, or youngsters right now in schools, in daras, listening, and who might, have the need to learn Wolof? What was your message? And your salam alaikum.
I tell them to be proud of who they are first, and try to learn who they are. Because once they realize the importance and the richness of the language they have, they will be so prideful that they will not let anything else hinder their progress. Because only in your language do you understand concept.
Exactly.
in other languages, you understand the words,
Exactly.
but you don't understand the concept.
MashaAllah.
And like I said, if you tell a wolof, once you are wolof, you know the word ndox. You don't, not only do you know the word, but you know the concept. Everything else you learn wolof, you learn water, agua, aqua, whatever it is you call it. It's just a word you learn it.
Exactly.
But the concept you learn it from your own language.
Exactly.
And that word ndox, that's where I will end my term. That word is very, very important. You know, in our language, you never hear something like running water or courant. We don't say that.
We don't say that, right?
Because it's included in the very word. Because in nature,
Doch, there's movement.
yeah, ndox,
Just like we say doch.
doch,
Right.
exactly. That's why we don't say running water.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Beautifully said, brother. And thanks for coming.
That's
And
right.
this is the first time, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last one. We're going to be, inshallah, having much more programs with the brother Suleiman Nyang, again, Director of Human Resources over in Bombay University, the University of Alioune Diop. Thank you for watching Echo from Touba once again, inshallah. Until Wolof, I love it because Salim Touba spoke it. And inshallah, it's going to be, when Saint Touba spoke it, that means there's baraka in this beautiful language. Hope government take opportunity and really push this language to be up there. Our children need to learn this language. Because all languages we need about languages is just to awaken our mental, awaken our spirit, and in order to have a better life here on this planet. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jërëjëfati borom Touba. Jaaraama Maam Cheikh Ibrahima Fall. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wow.